Okay, so next up, how do I teach my anxious mixed breed dog to become calm? Okay, so the first thing that you have to do with a dog, okay, that is anxious and nervous is you got to bring down the adrenaline levels. The easiest skill, again, and we use this for so many things, I'm such a big advocate for it, is place training, where we use the elevated bed and we're using the leash. When the dog actually begins to become anxious, you use your leash, you put them onto the place, relax the leash, and then you actually want the dog to come off the bed, off the place, so you can retighten the leash. It doesn't have to be firm, but it does need to go taut again, and continue to put the dog back on. Allow your anxious dog to come off so that way you can put them on for as long as you can possibly do that. And what I mean is, let's just say the dog comes off and comes off and comes off. Continue to be more patient and keep putting the dog back on. That effort that the dog is exerting is actually going to begin to help the dog come down. But what's also going to help the dog is the signal that you're using when you're using the leash. What the leash mechanism does is as the dog is on the bed and the leash goes relax, and then the dog crosses a boundary and it goes tight, and then back to relax, the dog gets back on, that mechanism of off and on actually sends calming signals to the dog's brain. So once you've actually seen the dog become calm and less anxious on the place, this is really where I begin to use petting, where I handle the dog. When I'm handling these dogs at first, I'm not going to go right into petting them. I'm going to lay my hand on their shoulder. So when I lay it on their shoulder and they're actually I can feel that the muscles are relaxing underneath my hand, that's where I'm going to put a pet. A lot of people with anxious dogs, the muscles are tight and they're really stroking the dog, building the anxiety. So really, with your anxious dog, use your leash first. Put your hand on the dog's shoulder once you've seen the dog begin to come down, and then if you feel the muscles underneath your hand begin to relax, then you want to go ahead and use the petting to be able to help the dog to understand that this is the calmer place to be. Helping your dog have hope and become less anxious is the key by repeating this process on a daily basis for as many times as you can. The last step, and I failed to mention it, the last step is once you've brought your dog down, the anxiety down, the adrenaline level down, it's not a bad idea to begin to feed the dog in the down position as you're massaging their back. It's a really great way to produce calmness in a dog if you systematically go through using the leash, using your hand, following it with petting, and then eventually coming in and feeding the dog.